Good evening. You are watching the 6:30 p.m. edition of News Live from Studio 1 of My Media Prime Television here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Quinter. Begin with back to school, where students and pupils across the country hit the streets today for the 2021-2022 academic year. Our reporter Nolinga visited some schools in the nation's economic capital and compiled the following report.
Despite the uncertainty that prevailed as per the September 6th school resumption date, pupils, students and teachers have answered present in their numbers at their various campuses nationwide. Here in Douala, a stopover at the Presbyterian Secondary School Bonaberi confirms an effective start of the 2021-2022 academic year, but not without the compliance to COVID-19 barrier measures.
Before the school resumption even, the administrator of PSS Douala were prepared. We had kept the compound very clean. We had fumigated all the dormitories since the boarding school. As from today in the school, we have as attendance 65.78%. Out of 761 students that we're expecting in the school, we have 500 students who have come, and we're still expecting about 123 minus the lower six students who will be coming on the 17th of September.
With effective learning underway, those in the examination classes are also conscious in maximizing their spare time, reason behind their consistent GCE 100% track record in 5 years. A flip over to the Douala Academy of Arts and Science, the back-to-school ambience is on. The provision of COVID-19 sanitary kits, effective lectures, and ongoing admission can tell no one is left out of the train. But how did the students spend their summer vacation, and how prepared are they for this academic year?
I actually spent my holidays well. I passed some time on reading, sometimes on playing, because holidays is for fun too sometimes, so I had to read some of my books and also enjoy the holiday. I'm very prepared for everything, prepared for the teachers, the lessons they're going to give, and I hope I'll make my best.
Talking with the principal of DAS, this is how the day's turnout has been rated in her school.
Today's turnout for teachers is 100%. But for students, with the resumption like this, some parents are not yet financially ready, so the turnout may not be 100%. But then, all the classes have at least students.
Similarly, at the Chonko Bilingual College, running the general, commercial and industrial educational orientations, students have also answered present with effective learning and practical sessions for a promising academic year.
The school resumed. They were very happy even in class. Normally, as you put the gate, there was a book, everything. And then the morning assembly, morning devotion.
It is an effective back to school, but what role did parents play to ensure it goes hitch-free?
I started preparing my children right from where they got their holiday. Yes, because there was like organizing some holiday classes, which my students attend. And from what they have been doing, they perform very well. And I thought it wise for them to continue in Chonke.
With a satisfactory turnout in most schools visited here in the nation's economic capital, Douala, it is hoped that the start of the academic year 2021-2022 will witness a successful end.
Negative 24 minus 7.
Now, the governor of the Southwest region, Bernardo Calabilai, has reassured the population of adequate security measures put in place by the administrative and law enforcement officers to ensure a hitch-free academic year 2021-2022. He made the declaration while on a working visit to schools in Boya and Limbe today to ensure that schools effectively resume in Fako division. Governor Bernardo Calabilai equally reminded school administrators to respect COVID-19 barrier measures. The governor visited 3 schools in Boya and 4 in Limbe. Now take a listen to Governor Bernard Okalabila in the following excerpt after his walking visit to schools in the Southwest region.
Situation in Manfe, in Kumba, and in Bangam, the schools are open. Anjam, the schools are open. The teachers, the administration of schools are there. Some parents accompany their children to schools. As I said, I hope that tomorrow will be better, and by the end of the week, we have more students than what we have seen today, but I continue to say the press should sensitize the public, because I want to thank you for what you have been doing those past years, because it's down to your support that we have those results today.
To this sad news, one person has died and 3 others seriously injured following an accident along the Tika-Douala highway. The accident happened on Sunday, August 5 as Island Summerthosas.
The fatal road accident which claimed the life of one of the occupants of this Corolla car matriculated Littoral 685JS, which was damaged beyond repairs, involved another vehicle, a black Toyota Picnic with number plate 990010, occurred along the Douala-Tiko highway, precisely at Banana Farm, Kang 7 Junction. The 2 vehicles had a head-on collision which deposited the Corolla vehicle in a nearby gutter, leaving 1 dead on the spot and injuring 2 others who were in the Toyota car and were immediately rushed to the hospital. Senior Warrant Officer of Brigade Routier Boya, Ngwabe Roland, was at the accident scene. I was informed about the accident which happened here between Miselele and Tiko. I got here immediately and the injured were rushed to the hospital and the driver of the other car died on the spot. So I called on his family and they came and took his mortal remains to the mortuary. Now I'm trying to transport their vehicles to the Gendarmerie Brigade, which will then follow an investigation. According to the security officer Ngwabe Roland, one of the vehicles was coming from Limbe and the other from Douala. The accident, which happened on the eve of Back to School 2021-2022 in Cameroon, is an eye-opener to all road users who have been challenged by the National Gendarmerie to be prudent on the highway as they wrap up a 4-day rentrée scolaire road safety campaign Monday, September 6, 2021 across the National Triangle.
Now, the National Gendarmerie has since Friday 3rd embarked on an accident-free Back to School 2021-2022. They called on road users and drivers to respect all road safety measures, as Odreza tells us.
It is in order to prevent road accidents during this 2021-2022 back-to-school season that the National Gendarmerie set up to adopt certain road safety measures. A series of consultation meetings held at the headquarters of the Gendarmerie regions between motorized road platoon elements and representatives of road transporters unions, a special detachment of the National Gendarmerie's operation to control, monitor and sanction traffic offences was deployed throughout the country's highways from Friday 3 till this Monday, September 6, 2021. Particular emphasis was placed on the fight against the COVID-19, illegal road transportation, and examining the technical state of the vehicles. Other actions, such as apprehending loosely stored vehicles, removal of vehicles poorly parked along the roads without advance warning signs, interception of drivers of such vehicles and those responsible for poor overtaking and other illegal activities were equally observed. The National Gendarmerie has therefore urged all road users, particularly drivers, to be civic-minded so that in addition to the large-scale operation, they keep observing the highway code.
Alleged separatist fighters in Bali, northwest region of Cameroon, have banned Presbyterian churches from operating in Bali. This follows the recent attack on the church that left 1 person dead, and the moderator's reaction details with student journalist on internship Tamu Manuela.
Suspected separatist fighters in Balinyonga, Mezam Division, Northwest Region have passed an ultimatum banning the functioning of all Presbyterian churches in the area. They say the moderator, Reverend Funky Samuel Foba, refused condemning government forces of the church shooting that killed 1 Christian, Madam Grace Titalabit, on August 22, 2021. Pastor Simon, who was leading the service, suffered a gunshot wound on his right hand, also denied knowing those responsible for the deadly shooting. The witnesses and Christians sided with the alleged separatist fighters and blamed government forces for the deadly shooting. The commander of the separatist group demands the immediate resignation of the two pastors. If not, all Presbyterian churches must remain closed in Bali.
The Bali Buffaloes, the Bali Restoration Force, hereby ban the Presbyterian Church from functioning in Bali Nyonga until the moderator of Bali Nyonga he resign, and the parish pastor of Presbyterian Church Tanfuang, Reverend Munto Simon, he resigned until Presbyterian Church he go continue for Bali Nyonga.
As a result of this, separatist fighters advise parents to distance themselves from any activities that concerns Presbyterian churches operating in the conflict-stricken area.
We stay in the northwest region where 30 persons have reportedly tested positive for coronavirus, while 4 others have lost their lives in Bafut subdivision. The fight against the rapid spread of coronavirus, the Bafut council officials over the weekend disinfected taxis and other vehicles plying the Bamenda Bafut stretch. Charles Kibwa compiled the following report for Prime News.
Serious cases of COVID-19 has been announced in Bafut subdivision at Mile 11, so gateway into the municipality, and families quarantined, others receiving treatment. To fight the rapid spread of the COVID pandemic, the Bafut Council, September 2nd, led by the Mayor Ngwakungo Lawrence, intensified measures to step up against the spread of the pandemic in the Bafut municipality. Accompanied by some councillors, disinfected cars plying Bamenda Bafut and distributed face masks to passengers and handed over to drivers packets of face masks to distribute to passengers not in possession of one.
We thought it wise to tackle the taxis that are plying the road by even giving them packets of nose masks so that any inhabitant, any passenger who enters into the taxi without a mask, the driver should be able to mask the person, give the person a free mask.
Bafut Council Mayor revealed, after discussing with medics of his municipality, some 30 persons have been tested positive of the virus and 4 have lost their lives.
Many families have already been quarantined, some already on treatment. So they have already been placed on treatment. That is why I'm equally using this medium to lobby and to plead to the elites of Bafut who are equally to come to our aid, because the council cannot really do it in its capacity, but they should come to our aid so that we should put our hands on it and protect the family of our people back at home.
The preventive sensitization from the Bafut Council equally serves as a reminder that the virus is real.
Our cases too much. So and why we return mayor to how we do we discover them and each type of stop the matter. So we're trying for a news man that we don't give it this water and we'll share.
This one that I've seen here again reminds me more. It reminds me to be aware that the COVID-19 is real. And I'll keep informing people that they should not think that the thing is over, but that it's still around.
The population has been urged to ensure preventive measures, avoid crowded funeral homes, and fight the pandemic seriously out of the municipality. The council plans with medics or medical personnel in the days ahead will institute a control post at Nso Bawum Bafut, gateway into the municipality.
The municipal authorities in Fundong have pledged to revitalize the economy of the municipality plagued by the socio-political crisis and COVID-19 pandemic. This was during the 20th midterm evaluation session for the Fundong Council held over the weekend at the Fundong Town Hall. Charles Kewa once more.
The 2021 midterm evaluation session for the Fundong Council took place September 3rd at the Fundong Town Hall, in the presence of Boyo SDO Fidel Chine, whose regalian duty of commissioning the council executive and the councillors exhort them to be peace lovers, ensure social comfort and rural development. Fundong Council Mayor Dennis Awundang, during the mid-year evaluation session, enumerating development projects carried out from the Public Investment Budget, Council Project, GPIRD project and road fund projects, with some have been received, others ongoing, while others require particular attention to kick off. He appealed to the powers that be,
the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development, the Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Finance. They will do everything to send back those credits so that we can effectively render the services that the population needs.
Fundong Council, faced with a double crisis, the socio-political and coronavirus pandemic, whatever the atmosphere, Mayor Dennis Awundang said, with the resilience exhibited towards the double crisis, they are bound to change the environment through development and revitalize the economy of the municipality.
So we're thinking that Fundong should change and start thinking economically and embrace the aspect of the social economy so that the livelihoods of the people of the municipality will change.
Presenting an action plan for the implementation of programs in a Fundong municipality, which was approved by the Network for Social and Solidarity Economy, the Fundong Council looks forward projecting in 2022 projects and shall be budgeting for a truck. In the same light, shall be applying to the Ministry of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Husbandry for the creation and operation of a council fish pond in the Fundong municipality. Mayor Awundang's holiday tournament crowned this year's midterm evaluation meeting as prizes were handed to the winners as the youths of the municipality prepare to go back to school.
Now, custom officials in the north region of Cameroon have seized goods illegally smuggled into the country. They urged business persons to go through legal procedures and avoid shortcuts. Details with Nora Kakibi.
These are the contraband goods intercepted by custom officers in the north region of Cameroon. The illegal goods were caught yesterday, September 5, with the efforts of the commander, Jude Mofo, who heads Zone 3 of the Halkomi 3 units of the Cameroon Customs in the north region. According to the commander, this is definitely not the first time the smugglers are embarking on such a venture. They have tried severally through several routes, all in a bid to dodge away from customs fee. But unfortunately, they have been caught all the times.
The smugglers are doing everything possible to dodge away from paying custom duty. They try to go with their goods through illegal means always. They go by air, through the roads, and even attempt to load illegal goods in bags, claiming they are granules, but it was still caught. This time around, they tried going through the sea, but were still caught.
He emphasized that contrary to the belief that escaping customs duty is far cheaper and an easy way out, Jude Mofo clarifies that going through the custom checks is way better, cheaper and stress-free.
Smugglers should always try to go through the right method. Let them pay their custom duty because it is better for them. They should not be dodging. It is far cheaper than they think. They should not be scared of the custom checks, for it is quite affordable.
He therefore encourages business persons to declare their goods always and go through the channels and do just what is right rather than being dodgy and spending more. The illegal items retrieved include huge consignment of vegetable oil, television sets, tires, bags of sugar, as well as African fabrics. All of these items were fully loaded into 3 heavy-duty trucks and taken to the customs office. Commander Jude Mofo's message to smugglers is that they should not be penny-wise and pound foolish.
Now, Cameroon joined the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Charity, set aside to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. In the following report, Joy Ngong took interest in the importance of donating. Details right ahead.
International Day of Charity, celebrated every 5th of September, is considered to be a significant date as charitable and humanitarian initiatives of any type are acknowledged. With the important goal of charity to solve issues that affect the society, the day is in appreciation of the importance of charity in easing humanitarian catastrophe and human misery within and among countries.
Giving in itself is a very selfless act, whether you're giving to the poor or you're giving to those in plenty. Now, if you look at scripture, love and charity are used interchangeably, meaning that the very essence of giving is to show love. So primarily, when you give, you're showing love.
Charity helps community to become sustainable. Charity harnesses community, bring communities together, and it also improves the lives of the underprivileged.
The notion of charity contributes to societal harmony by focusing on meeting basic needs and assisting those who are in dire need. This could be done by either contributing money to a good cause or participating in charitable activities.
To be a volunteer or be a community activist, you must not necessarily have enough money. You can give your time, you can give your resources.
If you don't have the finances, you might as well look within you. What can you sacrifice for humanity? What can you give out? You could volunteer your services. You could do a lot more, and it's still going to be categorized under giving.
International Day of Charity honors the charitable efforts of Mother Teresa, the Catholic nun who dedicated her life to caring for the destitute, an occasion for all individuals to experience the joy of giving.
When I put a smile on someone's face, I feel so fulfilled. Charity helps me to engage with other community leaders. It helps me to know more about my community.
It helps you to be responsible individually to your community, to your society, to the persons who are not chanced to be at the same level or lucky or opportune to be at the same level of financial comfortability and otherwise that you are in.
Since December 2012, over 44 UN member countries have signed as co-sponsors for Charity Day, with the involvement of several organizations who contribute immensely to giving.
News out of the country. Leader of the coup which ousted Guinea's President Alpha Condé has said a new union government will be formed in weeks. Meanwhile, President Condé remains in captivity. He was captured Sunday, August 5, 2021 by Guinea's Special Forces. Details right ahead. Guinean Special Forces on Sunday, September 5, captured President Alpha Condé and dissolved the country's institution, promising to change the political makeup of the West African country. The new military leaders, who broadcast a video of President Condé in captivity, announced a nationwide curfew as they plan to convene President Alpha Condé's cabinet minister and other senior politicians today. The military takeover has seen widespread condemnation from the European Union, the United Nations, the United States of America, France, amongst others. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres tweeted that he strongly condemned any takeover of government by force of gun, while the West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS quickly threatened sanctions if Condé was not immediately released. As the United Nations condemned any takeover by force and the West African Regional Bloc threatened reprisal, the elite army unit's head Mamadi Doumbouya responded that poverty and endemic corruption had driven his forces to remove President Alpha Condé from power.
Guinéennes et Guinéens, chers compatriotes, la situation sociopolitique et économique du pays, le dysfonctionnement des institutions républicaines, l'instrumentalisation de la justice, le piétinement des droits des citoyens, l'irrespect des principes démocratiques, la politisation à outrance de l'administration publique, la gabegie financière, la pauvreté et la corruption endémique ont émené l'armée républicaine de Guinée à travers le Comité national du rassemblement et du développement, CNRD, à prendre ses responsabilités vis-à-vis du peuple souverain de Guinée et dans sa totalité. Nous avons décidé ainsi, après avoir pris le président qui est actuellement avec nous, de la République, nous avons décidé de dissoudre la Constitution en vigueur, de dissoudre les institutions.
There were scenes of celebration on the streets of Conakry after some Guineans took to the streets to congratulate soldiers who detained Mr. Condé after hours of heavy gunshots. Meanwhile, President Alpha Condé is still in captivity. And to sports, the Confederation of African Football has reacted to a communique sent out by FECAFOOT which prohibited fans and private media from covering the match between Cameroon and Malawi. The student journalist on internship, Zile Emmanuel, read through the communiques and compiled the following report.
Some days after the communique which was sent out by FECAFOOT stating the Confederation of African Football prohibits the presence of fans and private media in the encounter between Cameroon and Malawi, the Confederation of African Football denies and exposes the lies of the Cameroon government and Fecafoot concerning the readiness of the Olembe Stadium. CAF also goes further by saying they agreed for the match to be played in the Olembe Stadium due to the fact that it was the World Cup qualifiers. The Confederation of African Football do not forget to mention that for the African Nation Cup to be played at the Olembe Stadium, more efforts will have to be put in place by the Cameroon government. The Confederation of African Football goes further in the communique by saying the present state of the field does not permit football lovers to sit and watch matches in the field. The Confederation of African Football stated that only 50 seats should be used, and that will be at the VIP section. Throughout the communique sent out by CAF, there is no point which prohibits the presence of the private media due to COVID protocol. The Confederation of African Football concludes by saying it's because of the incomplete state of the Olembe Stadium that they decided that the encounter between Cameroon versus Malawi will be behind closed doors.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News. My name is Quinter. We meet again tomorrow for the same program, and more programs come out on My Media Prime Television. Stay with us. Good night.
How do you move forward when you have to face so many daily challenges?